Welcome to So You Think Your Car is Fast, where we dive into the world of high-end, fast cars and explore what it truly means to have a fast car. From the latest in supercar technology to the mechanics that make these machines go, we'll separate fact from fiction and uncover the misconceptions about speed and power that exist in the minds of the general public. Join us as we put the pedal to the metal and discover what it takes to have a car that truly lives up to the title of fast.
I was walking. One of the reasons it took me just a second to get in here is I was walking to my office after texting you a minute ago saying, oh, yeah, I'll come on now. That would be good. UPS truck in front of my house.
Oh.
And I said, oh, well, that could be something, right? And then as I got to the door, the UPS man arrived. I don't even know if I can get this up here right now.
Oh, I hear clanking of aluminum. Oh,
Pinball parts?
I have quite either one of two things in this box. GT3 Cup cam housings or used pinball parts. Well,
How about bricks? Have you thought about maybe it's bricks?
I blew it. Used pinball machine parts.
Oh, yeah.
They might be new.
Which I gave to the Libyans for those.
The Libyans.
The Libyans.
Marty. That's awesome. Well, congratulations on the drama.
So
Well,
I haven't even opened. I haven't even
yet.
opened it yet.
It's not over yet. Yeah. Can you do an unboxing for us?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Dan's unboxing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to figure out how to do that because I'm not wearing pants. But
okay. So, update for Kansas is Dan for sure is not going to bring his car.
yeah,
Taylor for sure is going to bring his car.
I'm in.
Todd, engine is being dressed at the moment, and it is a Wednesday before shift sector.
and when you say dressed, let's clarify.
We've been
what that
talking
means.
about it getting dressed since like Sunday. That's like my daughter getting ready to go somewhere.
Well, I need pants, right? So I need to get dressed. But
It's
what
less dressed than Dan is right now.
what Todd's talking about is taking it from a bare long block, to use the parlance of our times, and putting the power steering, the alternator, the oil tanks, fuel rails, all the stuff that goes on it before it actually just goes in the engine bay.
That is correct. Yeah. So I'm hoping that it's going to be fired up today or tomorrow. So
Well, I saw the picture of it last night, and it was in bare form.
I think that that's just Mark's way of messing with me. I think that was an old picture, at least 8 hours old. So I'm sure he worked on it yesterday because I know he's not working on it tomorrow. So
Yes, he has a personal thing to attend for
yeah.
something.
So Steve will get a hold of it, put it in, fire it up.
So Steve's going to install it, but Mark is dressing it.
I would imagine that if Mark doesn't get it installed today, Steve's going to have to do it. Yeah.
So does that mean that Steve is going to check fuel rail tightness?
You know, Steve, he doesn't leave any bolt unturned.
That's true.
So, well, my plan is if they get it done in a reasonable amount of time, heck, if they got it done today, I'd bring it up to Wayne tomorrow. But if I don't get it till tomorrow, then, we're going to take it right to the event with, just being broken in on the dyno and a couple pulls, and then we'll just have to tweak it at the event.
I feel a lot better about this knowing that it's not my car.
And also,
that is how it goes.
Also, I'm not going to have the new turbos on it. We're going with the old turbos. They just didn't have enough time to fit the new turbos. So I'm going back to shift sector with the same power I did last year. So,
well, maybe a little bit extra.
Yeah, maybe if we can spin them a little higher, but new engine, but same turbos.
New cams,
I think so.
new
New
head
pistons,
profile.
new liners.
So chances are it might be a little better.
Yeah,
And we're not too worried about pushing the turbos very hard.
right. This will be the last event with those turbos, so they're going to get abused.
Are you going to try to get the high score?
No,
177.
177's too high.
Yeah, that's probably.
I don't even think Steve's going to be. Well, no, we won't know because these turbos don't have sensors, so we won't even know. We'll know when we're not. You know, if we turn them up and they don't make any more power, then we've hit the limit.
So, do we have any predictions on how it'll go? And somebody wiser than I once said, "Good words bring a good day."
All right, so let's say they are. Let's say the motor's great. Let's say the turbos are working great. Everything's potentially perfect. There's 210, 212, 215 in it.
Yeah, I think so.
How
about you, Taylor? Good words bring a good day.
Man, I'm pretty. It's running pretty good. I drove it quite a bit this weekend. Like I went through a little over half a tank of gas driving around, and there were a couple cars. I drove it in Mexico, obviously, but there were a couple cars that got to see a little flex.
Ooh.
So you were saying that you simulated all of your performance driving with AI.
Well, right, exactly. Yeah, but it's just map 2. Just map 2.
What does it make on map 2? I don't recall. What does it make on map 2? Like 1100?
I don't know. We've changed the maps so many flipping times. I don't know. I don't know. But transmission's working pretty stinking well. I think we're like 90% of the way there, 95%. Straight line, I think it's going to do great. Still a weird drivability thing in sport mode. It's like when you're decelerating, you know how a PDK will rev match itself, and it's pretty aggressive in sport mode.
Yeah,
but it's like this weird thing that happens where it goes from second and it downshifts into first. And then I have to apply a little bit of throttle. Like if I'm coming off a maiden road, pull into a parking lot, and then just have to give it just enough throttle to get across the parking lot, that's when it'll error out and it'll lock me in second gear. But I'm already in the parking lot, so it's fine. It's manageable. But I sent some logs over to Wayne, so we're going to see if we can clear that up at some point. But straight line, wide open throttle, feels good.
There's some kind of messaging going on between the TCU and the
it might also be with how he has it. There's a weird rev limit in that first gear somewhere. I'm not sure. The thing is when Wayne had it, he couldn't get it to do it except for one time, so it was hard to fix. And I've spent enough time with it now where I can duplicate it. So
now you know how to get it done. Yeah.
Now we can figure out what it's doing. But other than that, I haven't launched it, but I did punch it from a stop, and it feels good. It feels real good. I have first gear this time.
Oh, that's great.
Friday evening or Saturday morning, grab Wayne and see if you can do the needful about that, because it would be good to get it resolved while he's there.
Yeah, maybe like it's I know he's busy getting a lot of cars tuned, but he does have. I was able to get it on a couple logs, so we'll see. But yeah, other than that, the cars, it feels good. It feels real good. Had to clean out my intercooler tank already from some little bit of algae buildup. Man, that stuff grows fast.
I'm worried about that actually, because I mentioned to Steve if he could put something in my stuff, but I don't know that it's happened. So I'm afraid of what might be in my intercooler tank right now.
I told you guys I did that several times this weekend. I washed it out. I used all kinds of stuff. I put a little bit of pool algae remover. And I drove around a couple times with that in there and let that cycle. Then I just did a water flush. Then I did some with coolant. And I looked at it. I think I looked at it this morning. It's pretty stinking clear. So I think I got most of it out. I mean, I let it run for. I put my garden hose in the reservoir, opened up the drain, and made the hose run as fast as it was draining out, and let it run for like 35 minutes. So it flushed it out really well.
But I was thinking what I should do is take a video on my phone of this box down here and cut it open and see what's inside.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's a pretty good catch line for the YouTube video, right? Like Dan's.
What's in the box?
Yeah. Did Dan get scammed?
Yeah.
Let's see what's in the box.
Yeah.
All joking aside, I really am pulling for you because that's a pain to deal with.
Yeah, the guy has the car, so one would think that he also has the cam housings to sell. Well, the box has definitely been UPS'd, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like the weight of the box is appropriate?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And I have good news. I see what looks like the end of a cam housing.
Okay.
Oh.
For a Toyota Tercel? Toyota Tercels.
Wow. You crack yourself up. What do we have?
Well,
Oh, it's positive. That's positive thinking. Right
This is
there.
positive.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Does it look like it's in one piece?
yeah, it doesn't have the lid. It does have the lid. It's just the lighting.
Okay. That's.
I was like, oh my god, we got to go.
I was like,
through
I don't know what to say.
You got to buy a lid now.
Yeah. So, well, here's one of them.
Good.
Okay.
All right,
Man,
positive.
I'm super glad. I sent a message to Todd quite some time ago that goes, I don't have the heart to tell him, but this is sounding scamish.
Yeah, it did, and yeah, he did a lot of things that one would think.
That whole oh yeah, I got to check. Oh yeah, I think it went out yesterday, and then here's a tracking number that's not right.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
he sent me a tracking number, but you can only see so much from a tracking number, right? You
Yeah.
can see that it, where it's going, right? And it said
Right.
Frisco, Texas, which is where I live. And so I said, and then he put a tracking number into PayPal. But I had gone and looked at that tracking number, and I knew that it hadn't actually been delivered to UPS yet. But I wasn't gonna like message me like, "Hey man, you sent me a tracking number, but you didn't actually take it in. What gives?" Right? Like that's just not constructive, really. He knows.
Yeah.
Telling him that I know doesn't really change anything. And then but that tracking number that he put into PayPal to get the money released wasn't even the same tracking number that he sent me. It was one for a package that was going to Miami.
Wow.
So I get a notification from PayPal saying your package has been delivered. And I get all excited and I look at it and I said, no, that's not it. That went to Miami. That's when I was like, man. But I knew that the guy,
was a real guy.
I knew he was a real guy. I knew he had cup cars. And he's actually selling a cup car chassis without engine and transmission right now because the engine died. So, everything he told me added up. It was just everything that he did made me nervous. And then to add to it, when I talked to him about it yesterday, he said, yeah, you'll have the heads on Wednesday, no problem. And I said, and I'm thinking to myself, you mean cam housings? But I've had such touchy conversation with him. I didn't even bring it up. I was like, the box is already sent. He showed me a picture of it at UPS. UPS had updated the tracking number saying that they had it. So I'm like, well, I'm going to get whatever he sent me. I just didn't know if it was going to be cam housings, heads, or a box of used pinball machine parts.
Well, here's the question. John Bray is in Dallas right now. You're just going to give him to him to take on the plane?
That would be a dick move, wouldn't it? Here, John, take these back with you to Arizona. I'm going to show them to him for sure.
You're flying Southwest. You don't even need to pay for a check.
Yeah,
bag.
it's free bags.
No big deal.
Yep, and here's the second one.
Is he really going to be in shift sector with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice, Dan. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, I'm happy too. That was like a major thorn in the side of Dan's motor progression.
Do I look happy now?
Kinda. All right. So I would say this is overall pretty positive.
Yeah, I don't know if the listeners will appreciate how much positive news we've delivered in this podcast, but this has been a lot of good stuff.
It's been a long road. Now we just need to get my engine fired up. That's all there is to it. Then we'll be good.
And keep the camshaft seals in it.
Yeah.
That's something we could show on these. So these camshaft housings are, as we mentioned, from a cup car, not from a street car.
Uh-huh.
And they're 991 cup car housings. And it might, you know what, I'll just cut a little bit of this plastic.
991 cup cars are Metzgers, obviously.
They are Meskers, yeah.
When did they go to a 9A1, or did they?
Not until 991.2 cup, which I think is like 2016 or 2017.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember off the top of my head. So any car is going to have that sensor plug right there, and that's for the cam position sensor. But these, and I'm not really sure, what the genesis of this is, but these actually have provisions for that same sensor on both sides, which a normal one would not have.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
And so what Porsche Motorsport, so you could run variable cam timing on both the intake and the exhaust cam if you had the right cams and you put the extra parts on this, which it can take. But what Porsche Motorsport did was they set up this port. They've got a little kit you can get for a crankcase pressure sensor, or a Todd sensor.
Ooh.
Right there. So you
TNS.
can, yeah. So I'm going to get that Porsche Motorsport pressure sensor kit and stick that on there so I can read crankcase pressure sensor. Jared referred to it as a time for a new engine sensor.
Yikes. Yeah. Once it goes off, it's too late.
Which, if you think about it, could also be TNS, because time for new engine sensor,
T&E
TNS.
sensor. All right. So I was telling Taylor earlier that if by some chance it's fired up and it's done today, which it won't be, it's 3:00, I was going to go up tomorrow, but like sometime during the day, so Wayne could put it on the dyno, but I don't think I'll be able to do that. So I think I do want to come
know
up
that yet.
tomorrow
We don't know
night.
that yet.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, you get it from DriverSource tomorrow at 4
a.m. 4 a.m.
p.m.
Make sure
PM.
Steve gets there. Tell him to be there at 3:30 just in case.
Yeah.
Load it up. You're at Wayne's by 9. Dyno done by midnight. Load it up. We'll head out Friday morning. I'll be out there with you.
I mean, if I can, I will. If I can, I will. I mean, either way, I'd like
I just
to go up
volunteered
Friday.
Wayne.
Yeah, you did. I would like to come up Thursday anyway, because we kind of need to get on the road by 10 or so.
Juan is going to be here.
Yeah.
I saw that he's in my ethanol class. Guys, the ethanol class is,
Stacked.
I mean, what? And then I'm telling my wife about it, and she's like, "Well, don't you want to be the best?" She's like, is there something else you can do to your car? I'm like, not really.
Oh my God.
And she goes, "Well, what about like a different car?" And I was like, I don't think you understand what you're talking about financially.
These
if
words,
wanna
I don't
try
think
to
they
actually compete.
they don't mean what you think they mean.
I was like, it's not like oh, yeah, $4,800.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know what it'll cost to do a.
We've done a whole show on it.
I know. I tried to tell her. I was like, "Don't you remember that we did the show?" It's nah. I'm happy. With our little slot in the Porsche world.
I think you'll be very competitive with Juan, and if you can be in the top 3, top 4, that's great.
I mean, I don't know, right? And then like this is just whatever somebody puts as the power on their register. It's not. I'm sure there's some underrating and overrating going on those things too.
Oh, there always is. Like Bobby Weege is signed up for the manual car class, and he's listing himself at 1,500 horsepower. But we also know that he's been in the low 190s. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like you look at some of these Mustang guys that come out, and they're like, it makes 1,450, 1,500 to the wheels, and you're like, bro, you're running a 185. I mean, what's going on?
The struggle of it's like this in anything. The struggle of actually getting the car down the track is a separate issue from how much power it makes. So I'm sure, Bobby probably does make 1,500 horsepower, but he's probably got it set for 900 to 1,000 and he can't hook anymore. Or he's got it set higher and he's blowing tires off left and right. I don't know. I haven't watched him this season, but he was fast last season, but not necessarily as fast as we would be with the same power, which is how we're comparing it.
Yeah, and one thing, like when we had Roy on the podcast, I know he nobody's heard that yet. But what did he say he ran in his Camaro, like a 186 with like 900 to the wheels or something, which I thought was seemed like that made pretty good use of the power on a Camaro.
Mm-hmm.
Something must have knocked that out of my head since then. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around there.
Yeah,
But
I think that's
what I'm concerned about is I'm showing up to this super roll. I was expecting to make a lot more power, but
I mean, I don't think people have forgotten. I don't think the peasants have forgotten.
yeah, I'm gonna eat some peasants. That's for
You
sure.
you might eat some. Oh,
Well, we were saying this amongst ourselves, but there's three things going on here. First, somebody registered. Second, somebody shows up. Third, somebody's car actually does what they think it can do. And those are three different things. And if all three of those things happened for everybody on the same weekend, records would be broken every weekend.
yeah, and that doesn't always happen.
And that records in every class, right? Because every car would come out and put out amazing numbers, and it just doesn't happen. And it's harder than
Especially
people
the
think.
real high horsepower stuff, right? Like you see the car show up and they never make a pass, or they make one pass and then that's done.
Yeah.
Well, when your car has really the only adjustment that you can make is tire pressure, it's pretty easy to get the car down the track, get it to do what you think it should do. The more knobs and dials and computers and interfaces and schweinerators that you add to it, it becomes more complicated.
That's the thing. I'm missing a schweinerator.
Oh yeah, that's a technical term.
See if Steve can put one in while he's working on
Yeah.
it.
It's Schweino.
You think I can get that at O'Reilly's?
I don't think so. You got to contact a guy named Scott at Force Performance.
Oh, schweinerator. All right. Well, I know Black Betty's not going to make it. Juan said.
Oh, Black Betty's.
That's one of the cars.
Yeah, it's not making it.
Well, I told Juan that I would put it on my trailer and drive it up there for him if he gave me gas money.
Oh yeah.
Is
But
it
I hadn't
just a
heard about it
trailer
for a
issue?
while.
No. Trey has it. He's not done with it.
Yeah.
I think he's making it new headers.
Okay.
Well, he called me like, where was I going? I was going somewhere. I think I was going to Houston, so it was week before last. I was going to the hockey tournament. I was smarter then. And he called me and said, he's going to try to bring both cars, but he didn't know how to get Black Betty up there. So I said, well, I mean, I'm going. I was going to ride with Todd, but
yeah, it's not a transportation thing. Trey's just not done with it. All right. Well, I got to jump off, but I will keep you boys posted.
So we were done. It was over. And, Taylor disconnected. And, Todd and I were just sitting here talking about the secrets of the universe. And Todd got a text from Mark at DriverSource. And what did it say?
It said nothing, only this one clip here. Pay attention. Here we go.
All right.
We have ignition.
How about that?
Oh, and we have a Steve foot.
We have a Steve
I heard
foot.
a Steve voice too.
Yep, that's how I know it was his foot.
All right. Progress.
So we might actually be 2 for 3. And as anybody might say, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Ain't bad. We're batting 66%.
So you got to get over to DriverSource and get the car.
Help them finish.
I know. I will do whatever it takes. I actually might go ahead and hook up the trailer and bring it down there right now.
Yep, let's get ready to go to Kansas.
Well,
if you get back tonight, you're going to come up here, right?
Well, I'm not going to get it tonight because Steve has to put it on the dyno. He needs to run it in, or he could say let Wayne run it in. But
I like the idea of letting Steve run it in, just because that way Wayne can focus on the performance aspects of it. Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. All right. Sorry to drag you guys back in, but that little piece of information was fun.
That is fun. That's fun. You're lucky I was still here.
Yeah, I didn't think you were. I was like, man, he's gone.
He's gone. He's gone. All right, boys. I'm excited. I will see you guys tomorrow night. I will see you tomorrow night, if not Friday morning early.
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye, guys. Thank you for listening to So You Think Your Car is Fast podcast. Please subscribe and leave us a review. Also want to thank Redenzo Radar, redenzo.com/BHT for discounts. Also want to thank EvoSpec Engine Development and Force Performance.